When figuring out your emergency power plan, it is important to keep in mind what you want powered and how many watts those appliances need to run effectively. This applies to both your generator and inlet box choices. Depending on what you decide on, there could be a pretty significant difference in appliances you can power. In this video, we will go over two of our most popular EP kits, EPL 1430 kit for 30 amp service and EP 1450 kit for 50 amp service. Let's start with the lower end of the two, EPL 1430 kit. This comes with an L1430 inlet box and your choice of length of a matching L1430 extension cord with an elbow connector end. NEMA L1430 has a max wattage capacity of 7,500 watts. Again, to get this number, multiply the amps times the volts. Since L1430 is technically 125/250 volts, use the bigger number to get your max watts. This would be 7,500 watts. To be sure you can utilize all 7,500 watts, you need to make sure you have a generator with a running wattage rating of a little bit over 7,500 watts. Now you must figure out what you can use within the 7,500 watts. We have gathered for you average wattage ratings for typical household appliances you may want to use during a power outage. First, let's cover what might be the absolute necessities and keep a running tally. Your refrigerator or freezer might use up to 700 watts. A sump pump could use up to 1,000 watts. A well pump, if you have one, could also use up to 1,000 watts. We are now at 2,700 watts. Depending on where you live and when the power goes out, you may want to keep your AC or furnace running. Central AC can be up to 1,500 watts, with a window unit using up to 1,200 watts, while a furnace fan can use up to 900 watts. To cover all bases on this, we will use the average of these three, which would be 1,200 watts. Again, you should always check your own appliances to know exactly how much they will use. We are now up to 3,900 watts. If you want to have hot water, a water heater could use up to 2,000 watts. If you want to be able to cook at the bare minimum, a microwave could use up to 1,000 watts or more. If you want to have some light bulbs on, you would also need to account for those. Since there are varying styles of bulbs, we will stick with 100 watts apiece for those. 3 light bulbs would be 300 watts. Again, yours could be more or less. Charging your phone would barely use anything. With all these appliances, we are now at 7,200 watts. At 7,200 watts, you could cover just about all the necessities to get by for a while. It is best to always keep track of what you are using so you don't trip any breakers and disrupt the power even further. The higher end would be EP 1450 kit. This comes with the CS6375 inlet box and a matching 50 amp cable of up to 50 feet in length. These connections have a max wattage of up to 12,500 watts. If you want all this wattage, you need to make sure your generator has a running wattage of a little over 12,500 watts and a NEMA 1450 receptacle. Let's pick up where we left off with the other kit and continue to add things. We left off at 7,200 watts. Since now you have the extra wattage, let's throw TV into the mix at around 400 watts. If you want to cook with something besides a microwave, an electric stove averages at about 2,000 watts. With those couple things, we are now at 9,600 watts. This would almost max out the running wattage of our generator here, which is 10,000 running watts. But let's keep going to get closer to the 12,500 watts we mentioned. Let's add 3 more light bulbs at 100 watts apiece. Depending on where you live, you may want an additional fan or space heater. The wattages on those can vary significantly, but let's stick with 1,000 watts for one of those. We are now at 10,900 watts. There's still enough room for another TV for entertainment, more lights for reading, or more power for another cooking method. As you can see, you can power quite a bit with 12,500 watts. Thank you for taking the time to be prepared this season and for watching our video. At AC Works, we're dedicated to educating and providing you with all of your power solution needs. Don't forget to check out our related generator videos, and since you made it to the end, check our video description for any of our current discounts and links to the kits we mentioned in this video.